So in this video we're going to look at solving linear equations, but we will have letters and numbers on each side. Now in this question we have 4 times x minus 1 is equal to 2 times 3x minus 7. So the first thing we do is we will get rid of the brackets. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times minus 1 is minus 4. Keep our equals in the middle. 2 times 3x is 6x. And 2 times minus 7 is minus 14. And we notice that we have x's on both sides and numbers on both sides. And we want to have the x's on the left and the numbers on the right. In order to do this, we will have to look at the left-hand side and see that we have the x's, they're okay, but we don't want this minus 4. We don't want any numbers on the left. So we want to get rid of this minus 4. In order to get rid of minus 4, we add on 4. So we have plus 4. But if we add 4 onto the left, we must add 4 onto the right. We now have 4x on the left, because minus 4 plus 4 is 0. And on the right hand side we have 6x, and then we have minus 14 plus 4. So we put it into our calculator. Minus 14 plus 4 gives us minus 10. The problem now is that we have x's on the right. We only want numbers on the right. So we have to get rid of this 6x. So we're going to take 6x off the left. And if we take 6x off the left, we have to take 6x off the right. So 4x minus 6x is minus 2x. 6x takes 6x is 0, and we just have minus 10. And of course now we can just divide both sides by minus 2, because that's the number that's in front of the x. Minus 2 divided by minus 2. Minus divided by minus is a plus. 2 divided by 2 is 1. The left-hand side is 1x. And on the right-hand side, minus divided by minus is plus. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 1x equals 5 is our answer. When we go through this example, I'll write out the steps as well for you. First step here is get rid of the brackets. (18 times x is 18x. 18 times 1 is 18. 9 times 3x is 27x. And 9 times 3 is 27. Second step. Get rid of the numbers on the left-hand side. The number we want to get rid of on the left-hand side is 18. We want to get rid of this. That means we subtract 18 from both sides. So to subtract 18 from the left, subtract 18 from the right. That means we have 18x equals 27x, and 27 minus 18 is plus 9. Next step is get rid of the x's on the right. The x's on the right are the 27x. That means we subtract 27x from the right hand side. And if we subtract 27x from the right hand side, we must subtract 27x from the left hand side. We look at what we're left with. And we see we have 18x minus 27x is minus 9x. 27x minus 27x is 0, so we just have 9. And our final step then is just to divide across by the number in front of the x. And in this case it's minus 9. We'll have minus 9x divided by minus 9. And we'll have 9 divided by minus 9. Minus 9 divided by minus 9 is 1. That means we have 1x. 9 divided by minus 9 is minus 1. So our answer is 1x equals minus 1. Now it's important that you pause going through the video, that you stop at each line, copy down each line, make sure you understand each line. We'll go through another example then. Now we'll have a look at this example. So first thing we'll do is multiply out to get rid of the brackets. So minus 2 times 2x is minus 4x. Minus 2 times minus 4 is plus 8. Now on the right hand side, the 15 is just on its own because remember we do the multiplication part separate and we just have 15. So we have minus 3 times 2x, which is minus 6x. And minus 3 times minus 1 is plus 1. And we notice here that we could tidy up a little bit. So the left hand side minus 4x plus 8. But on the right hand side we have some like terms. We have 15 plus 1. They're like terms and therefore we can just change that into 16. And we have our minus 6x. And we just continue on. We get the x's on the left, the numbers on the right. First thing we want to do is get rid of the number 8 from the left hand side. That means that we have to subtract 8 from the left. And if we subtract 8 from the left, we subtract 8 from the right. And look at what we're left with. Minus 4x. 8 take 8 is 0. And then we have equals. And then we have on the right hand side 16 minus 8 is just 8. And then we have minus 6x. That means that we have no numbers left on the left hand side. However, we have letters on the right hand side and we don't want any letters on the right hand side. So we have to get rid of minus 6x. The way to get rid of minus 6x is to add 6x. So we plus 6x onto the right. And if we plus 6x onto the right, we have to plus 6x onto the left. We now have on the left hand side minus 4x plus 6x. And minus 4x plus 6x is 2x. On the right hand side it's 8. And then we have minus 6x plus 6x, which is just 0. We're nearly finished now. We just have to divide both sides by the number in front of the x. That means we divide both sides by 2. So we divide the left hand side by 2 and divide the right hand side by 2. And when we do that, 2 divided by 2 is just 1, which means we have 1x here. And on the right hand side, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so 1x equals 4. Now make sure you go through each of these examples very, very carefully. If there's anything that you don't understand, make a note of it and ask it in class. Go through all the steps and then try the questions that I've marked out for you here. Now you'll want to pause the video at this point and copy down these 3 questions and use the examples that you've been given to solve each of these equations. So remember, you have to get rid of the brackets each time. You have to have the x's on the left, the numbers on the right. So follow each step, maybe play back the video or use your notes copy. Follow each step that you've been given to do these questions.